Hello, my dear, and thank you for choosing to spend these quiet moments with me. I am grateful that you are here, because perhaps something within you is ready to come home. Take a gentle breath and let your shoulders move away from your ears. Soften your face, unclench your hands, and allow the chair beneath you to offer its support. You do not have to perform for me, and you do not have to prove anything here. You may simply arrive as you are, with your questions, tenderness, strength, and unfinished places. Perhaps you have spent years becoming the person you believed everyone wanted you to be. You learned when to smile, when to remain silent, and which parts of yourself seemed welcome. Yet the real you was never lost. It was only waiting beneath those careful adaptations. Today, let us lovingly give that beautiful self permission to breathe again. There are many versions of you living in the minds of other people. One person may see you as strong, while another may think you are too sensitive. Someone may recognize your kindness, while someone else may misunderstand the very same quality. Their opinions are shaped by their histories, expectations, fears, and ways of seeing the world. Sometimes an outside perspective can teach you something valuable, and you may receive it with wisdom. But another person's perspective can never become the final definition of who you are. They have not lived every quiet moment, carried every private burden, or witnessed every courageous beginning. When you depend entirely on their approval, your sense of self changes whenever their response changes. Praise lifts you for a moment, silence makes you doubtful, and criticism tempts you to disappear. Remind yourself gently, other people may have their opinions, but I have the right to know myself. There is also the person you want others to believe you are. Perhaps you want to appear endlessly capable, generous, peaceful, successful, or strong. There is nothing wrong with allowing your good qualities to be visible and appreciated. The pain begins when you believe you must protect that image by hiding everything human. You say that you are fine when your heart is asking to be heard. You agree when your body wants to rest, and you pretend to understand when you need help. Slowly, the image you created becomes a costume that is too tight for your spirit. My dear, you were not born to spend your life guarding an appearance of perfection. You are allowed to be loving and still need boundaries, and strong while still needing support. Say softly, I release the need to appear perfect, and I allow myself to be beautifully human. Then there is the way you see yourself, and this picture may change from day to day. When everything goes well, you may decide that you are capable, worthy, and lovable. When you make one mistake, the inner voice may suddenly tell you that you are not enough. Sometimes the ego protects itself by feeling superior, and sometimes it collapses into feeling inferior. Yet, neither position reflects the peaceful truth at the center of your being. You do not need to stand above anyone in order to recognize your gifts. You do not need to stand beneath anyone because you are still learning. There is room in life for your growth and for the growth of everyone around you. Another person's beauty, success, or wisdom does not reduce what life has placed within you. Let yourself affirm, I am neither above nor beneath anyone. I am a unique expression of life. Beneath all these changing images is a quieter and more enduring self. It was present before you collected achievements, titles, disappointments, and other people's expectations. It is the part that once knew what brought you joy before you learned to edit every response. Perhaps, as a child, you discovered that some qualities earned affection while others created discomfort. You may have become helpful, quiet, amusing, successful, or invisible in order to protect your belonging. Please do not criticize that younger version of yourself for learning how to adapt. That child was doing the best they could with the understanding and choices available then. In your imagination, take that child's hand and let your voice become warm and trustworthy. Tell them, you no longer have to hide to keep love. I am here and I will listen. You are not returning to childhood. You are bringing its forgotten honesty safely into your life today. Your true self does not need to be perfect before it deserves acceptance. It includes your wisdom and your uncertainty, your courage and your tender fears. You may be compassionate and sometimes impatient, generous and still learning not to give until empty. These truths can exist together without making you false, broken, or unworthy. When you shame a difficult part, it often hides and continues influencing your choices from the darkness. When you meet it with compassion, however, it finally has an opportunity to mature. Anger may reveal a boundary, jealousy may reveal a neglected longing, and fear may request greater safety. You do not have to obey every emotion, but you can listen without condemning yourself for feeling it. Place your hand over your heart and breathe into the space beneath your palm. Whisper, I lovingly accept every part of myself that is still learning and growing. Self-acceptance does not mean approving of every choice or refusing to change harmful behavior. It means remaining on your own side while you become honest and responsible. If you make a mistake, you can acknowledge it, apologize, repair what is possible, and choose again. You do not have to humiliate yourself in order to prove that you have learned. Shame says, you are the mistake, and you should hide from love. Compassion says, this choice caused pain, so let us understand it and respond differently. One voice creates fear, while the other creates enough safety for genuine change. Replace what is wrong with me with the gentler question, what is asking to be understood? Replace I ruin everything with I am learning to make choices that reflect my values. Then affirm, I correct myself with love, and I grow without turning against myself. Many people learned very early that being fully visible could feel unsafe. Perhaps your enthusiasm was called excessive, your sensitivity was mocked, or your needs were considered inconvenient. You began saying what others wanted to hear and making your voice smaller to prevent disapproval. That response may once have protected you, so thank it instead of treating it as an enemy. Then lovingly teach yourself that you have more choices in the present. Begin with small acts of honesty rather than demanding one dramatic transformation. Admit when you need time, express a simple preference, or decline something that leaves you depleted. You do not have to reveal every private part of yourself to every person. Authenticity is not unlimited exposure. It is the growing alignment between your feelings, values, words, and actions. Tell yourself, it is safe to express my truth with wisdom, kindness, and self-respect. Healthy belonging allows you to remain connected without requiring you to disappear. The right people may disagree with you, yet they will not punish you for having a separate mind. They can respect a boundary, listen to your experience, and allow you to grow beyond an old role. Some people may resist when the version who always agreed begins to speak more honestly. Their discomfort does not automatically mean that your new boundary is unloving or wrong. Continue to examine your behavior, but do not retreat simply because someone preferred your silence. Kindness does not require self-abandonment, and love does not require the surrender of your dignity. You may care for another person while also protecting your time, energy, body, and peace. You may forgive someone without restoring the access that repeatedly caused you harm. Hold this truth close. The right belonging will never require you to leave yourself behind. Not everyone will understand the more authentic person you are becoming, and that is all right. You cannot control your image inside every mind, because each person sees you through a different window. Trying to manage every opinion consumes the energy meant for your health, creativity, joy, and purpose. Let others have their perspectives while you remain responsible for living with compassion and integrity. Before a decision, ask whether it honors your values and allows you to respect yourself afterward. You may still feel afraid when the honest answer asks you to change direction. Courage does not mean eliminating fear. It means refusing to abandon yourself because fear has appeared. Move gently, choose wisely, and allow trust to grow through one truthful action at a time. Affirm, I do not need everyone's approval before I can honor what is true for me. I don't want to be a guru or a healer. I'm just a simple lady with a simple permission. Love yourself and get your act together. That may sound almost too simple, my dear, but simple does not mean shallow. Loving yourself means that you stop making your humanity a reason for punishment. Getting your act together means that you begin taking loving responsibility for the life in your hands. These two things belong together: tenderness and responsibility, acceptance and growth. You do not need to become perfect before you can love yourself, and you do not have to remain stuck in order to prove that your love is unconditional. You may accept who you are today while still choosing a healthier direction for tomorrow. You can hold your heart gently and also tell yourself the truth. So breathe slowly and allow this thought to enter. I give myself permission to be human, to learn, and to grow. You are not here to complete an impossible performance. You are here to experience, awaken, love, and become more fully yourself. You are a human being, not a product arranged in a shop window for everyone to inspect. You were never meant to appear flawless from every angle. Yet many of us live as though one visible imperfection will cause love to be withdrawn. We try to say the right thing, make the perfect decision, and avoid every mistake. We imagine that worthy people always know what they are doing, never become confused, and never need to begin again. But this is not how human life works. We learn by entering experiences before we possess every answer. We discover our strength by meeting situations that ask us to use it. We understand ourselves through choices, consequences, reflection, and change. Sometimes learning looks graceful, and sometimes it looks awkward. Both forms belong to the journey. So let yourself say, I do not need to perform perfection in order to deserve respect. Give yourself permission to learn without demanding immediate mastery. Give yourself permission to try something and discover that it is not right for you. Give yourself permission to be new, uncertain, and occasionally clumsy. A child learning to walk does not become a failure each time they fall. We do not stand over that child and say, you should have understood this by now. We encourage the child because we recognize that falling is part of learning balance. Somewhere along the way, Many adults stop offering themselves this kindness. They expect every beginning to look like expertise and every experiment to produce success. When it does not, they use criticism as though criticism will accelerate growth. But the frightened mind does not learn freely. It becomes preoccupied with avoiding humiliation. Tell the learner within you, you may practice here. You may ask questions. You are safe to improve one step at a time. A mistake describes an action. It does not define the whole person who acted. Perhaps you said something that caused pain, ignored a truth, stayed too long, or made a decision you now understand differently. Responsibility asks you to look honestly, repair what can be repaired, and use the lesson. Shame asks you to turn the event into a permanent identity. It whispers, "You made a mistake, therefore you are a mistake." Refuse that cruel conclusion. You can regret an action without rejecting your entire being. You can say, "That was not the wisest choice, and I am willing to make a different one now." This language keeps the door to growth open. It allows you to become wiser without chaining yourself forever to the consciousness you had yesterday. Repeat gently, "My past choices can teach me, but they do not have permission to imprison me." Now let us speak about the beautiful, powerful word no. For many people, no carries a great deal of fear. You may have learned that kind people always agree. Loving people are endlessly available, and good people never disappoint anyone. But a yes given from fear is not the same as a yes given from love. Every yes uses some portion of your time, attention, body, or emotional energy. If you give these resources without awareness, resentment often begins to grow beneath your kindness. You may continue smiling while some part of you feels forgotten. A conscious no can prevent that hidden resentment and protect the honesty of your relationships. No does not have to be harsh, dramatic, or punishing. It can simply mean, "This is not right for me," or "I am not available for this." Let yourself remember, sometimes saying no to another person is saying yes to your own life. Before agreeing to a request, give yourself a small pause. You do not need to answer immediately simply because another person would prefer an immediate answer. Take one breath and ask, "Do I genuinely want to do this?" Then ask, "Do I have the energy, time, and willingness to follow through without betraying myself?" Finally ask, "Am I saying yes from love, or am I afraid of what they will think if I say no?" These questions are not designed to make you self-centered. They help you become honest about what you can give freely. When your answer is no, you need not build an elaborate courtroom defense. A simple response may be enough. "Thank you for asking, but I cannot take this on." You can be warm and clear at the same time. Affirm, "My needs matter, my time has value, and I am allowed to choose where my energy goes." Some people may be disappointed by your no, and you are allowed to survive their disappointment. Their feeling does not automatically mean that you have behaved badly. You have probably felt disappointed when another person could not give you what you wanted, and you eventually found a way to continue. Other adults can also process their feelings. You are responsible for communicating respectfully, but you are not responsible for preventing every uncomfortable emotion in everyone around you. If a person withdraws affection whenever you set a reasonable boundary, notice what that reveals. Love that can exist only when you abandon yourself is not secure love. You do not have to become cold or build walls around your heart. You are simply learning to place a loving gate at the entrance. The gate can open for respect, honesty, reciprocity, and care, while remaining closed to repeated misuse. Say softly, I can love others without leaving myself behind. You are also allowed to change. A decision you made in the past is not necessarily a lifelong contract. You may have selected a field of study before you understood your deepest abilities. You may have entered a career that once suited you and now feels too narrow. You may have built a relationship around an earlier version of yourself. You may have pursued a goal because it was admired, only to discover that achieving it would not create the life you truly want. None of this makes the past meaningless. Every chapter gave you information about your values, needs, limits, and desires. What was right at 20 may not be right at 40, and what carried you through one season may not carry you through the next. Life moves, bodies change, awareness expands, and new truths become visible. Give yourself permission to respond to what you know now. Changing direction does not mean that the earlier version of you was foolish. That person chose through the understanding, circumstances, and resources available at the time. Honor the courage it took to make those choices. Honor the effort invested and the lessons received. Then ask whether continuing in the same direction is still an expression of truth or merely loyalty to an old identity. You are allowed to appreciate a chapter and still close it. You can love a person and recognize that the relationship no longer supports the well-being of both people. You can be grateful for a career and decide that another path now calls to you. You can revise a dream without betraying yourself. Growth sometimes looks like changing your mind about the life you thought you had to live. Affirm, I bless who I was. I listen to who I am, and I make room for who I am becoming. Change can make other people uncomfortable because they learned how to relate to the former version of you. They may remind you of promises you made when you had different needs. They may accuse you of becoming difficult when you stop being endlessly available. They may prefer the familiar role in which you rescued, agreed, remained quiet, or never asked for anything. Listen carefully to useful concerns, but do not confuse familiarity with destiny. You are not required to remain emotionally frozen so that everyone around you can avoid adjusting. Healthy relationships possess enough flexibility to respond to honest growth. They allow new conversations, revised agreements, and changing needs. If a relationship survives only when you pretend to be who you were, it may need a new form or a different degree of access. You may proceed gently and still proceed. Remind yourself, I am allowed to evolve without apologizing for being alive, and you are allowed to shine in your own way. You do not need to shine at the same speed, on the same stage, or through the same gifts as anyone else. One person may express brilliance through leadership, while another expresses it through listening. One creates beauty with color, another with words, and another through the way they make people feel safe. Your sensitivity may be the source of your intuition. Your unusual way of thinking may allow you to recognize connections that others overlook. Your quiet nature may hold depth rather than absence. Your voice may reach people precisely because it does not sound like every other voice. Do not dismiss what comes naturally to you merely because you assume it must come easily to everyone. The quality you have taken for granted may be one of the gifts life most wants you to honor. Say, I give myself permission to shine in the way that feels true to me. Comparison tempts you to evaluate your seed by looking at another person's flower. You see their visible moment and forget that every life has unseen seasons. You do not know the exact soil in which they grew, the support they received, the losses they endured, or the price they paid. Let another person's light inspire you, but never use it to darken your own. Their success does not mean that life has run out of possibilities for you. Their timing is not a judgment about yours. Return to your own values and ask what success actually means to your heart. Perhaps it means freedom, contribution, creativity, peace, loving relationships, or enough time to enjoy what you build. Your definition does not need to impress everyone. It needs to be honest enough to guide your decisions. Affirm, I honor my rhythm, my path, and my personal definition of a meaningful life. Do not continually shrink your gift to fit a room that was never designed to hold it. Perhaps you have been speaking softly because the people around you are uncomfortable with confidence. Perhaps you have been hiding your creativity because someone once called it impractical. Perhaps you have concealed your spiritual depth, your intelligence, your humor, or your tenderness because it made you feel different. You do not have to become louder than your nature, but you do need to stop apologizing for existing as you are. Sometimes the answer is not to make yourself smaller. It is to find or create a more spacious room. Seek people who are curious about your gifts rather than threatened by them. Create environments where mutual encouragement is normal. Offer your abilities in ways that serve rather than merely impress. Your light is not meant to blind anyone, and it is not meant to remain covered. Let it become a warm contribution to the life around you. Now I would like you to practice a few moments of mirror work. When you are ready, stand before a mirror and look directly into your own eyes. Do not begin by checking your hair, skin, age, or anything you have been taught to criticize. Look beyond the surface and meet the person who has accompanied you through every day of your life. At first, you may feel uncomfortable, emotional, or tempted to look away. Be patient, because this practice may be revealing how unfamiliar it feels to offer yourself undivided, loving attention. Breathe and say your name softly. Then tell your reflection, I release the need to be who everyone expects me to be. Pause long enough to hear your own words. Continue, I give myself permission to be who I truly am. Let your eyes receive the message instead of rushing to the next sentence. Now say, it is safe for me to be seen. If that feels too large, soften it to, I am learning that it can be safe for me to be seen by loving and trustworthy people. Then say, it is safe for me to change. Notice whether an old fear rises and simply remain present. You do not have to argue with the fear or demand that it vanish. Let it see that you are no longer the helpless child who must earn permission from everyone in the room. You can choose carefully, ask for support, set boundaries, and make adjustments. Look into your eyes once more and say, I love the person I am becoming. If love feels difficult, begin with willingness. I am willing to know and support the person I am becoming. Willingness is a beautiful doorway, and you may enter slowly. Becoming yourself is not necessarily a dramatic reinvention. You do not need to manufacture an entirely new personality and announce it to the world. Often, becoming yourself is a return. You gently remove the expectations that no longer belong to you. You stop forcing interests that never brought you joy. You loosen the roles you accepted in order to be approved. Beneath them, you discover preferences, values, abilities, and dreams that have quietly remained alive. As you return to these truths, decisions become clearer because you are no longer consulting 100 imaginary judges. Relationships become more honest because the person participating in them is real. Life becomes lighter because maintaining a false identity requires enormous energy. Authenticity is not a performance of uniqueness. It is the peaceful act of returning home to yourself. Ask yourself one final and revealing question. If I were not afraid of disappointing anyone, where would I live differently? Do not use the answer to make sudden or reckless decisions. Let it show you where your truth has been waiting for attention. Perhaps you would speak more clearly in one relationship. Perhaps you would make time for a neglected gift. Perhaps you would stop agreeing to a responsibility that is quietly exhausting you. Perhaps you would ask for help, change direction, or finally admit what you want. Choose one small, grounded action that honors the answer without creating unnecessary harm. Authenticity grows through consistent choices, not dramatic declarations. Each time you live 1 degree closer to your truth, you strengthen your trust in yourself. You learn that you can be honest and remain loving. You learn that the world does not end when you stop performing. Take a slow breath now and repeat these words in a way your heart can receive. I give myself permission to be myself. I do not need to be perfect to be worthy of love. I honor the human being within me who is learning, changing, and growing. It is safe for me to express my voice with wisdom. I am allowed to say no to what does not support my well-being. I am allowed to choose a new direction. I no longer live according to an identity someone else selected for me. I trust the quiet wisdom within my heart. I welcome relationships that can love the person I truly am. I honor my differences, and I refuse to diminish my light merely to make others comfortable. I am free to develop at my own pace. I lovingly accept the person I am today, and I love the person I am becoming. My dear, you do not have to earn these permissions. They are not prizes that arrive after you have pleased enough people. They are choices you can begin making within yourself now. You are allowed to be imperfect without becoming unworthy. You are allowed to say no without becoming unloving. You are allowed to change without declaring your former self a failure. You are allowed to shine without competing with anyone. You are allowed to look into your own eyes and recognize a person deserving of loyalty, patience, and care. Let your final words be simple. I give myself permission to be who I truly am. Carry them into your decisions, conversations, relationships, and quiet moments. Whenever you notice yourself performing for approval, return to your breath and come home again. The door is open, the light is on, and the person waiting there has always been you. Little one, you do not have to hide anymore. Today, perhaps life has guided you here because there is a tender part of you that has been waiting for someone safe to speak gently. Maybe your adult self clicked on this video, but somewhere inside, your inner child is also listening. The child who learned to be quiet, the child who tried to be good, the child who feared making mistakes, the child who wanted to be held, noticed, protected, and loved without needing to perform. Today, we are not here to judge that child. We are here to welcome them home. Your inner child is the part of your consciousness that still remembers the emotional world of childhood. It remembers not only what happened, but how it felt. It remembers the moments when you were afraid of being scolded, compared, rejected, ignored, or left alone with emotions too big for your little body. It remembers trying to understand adults who may have been tired, wounded, distracted, strict, or emotionally unavailable. And because a child does not yet know how to explain pain wisely, the child often decides, maybe it is my fault. Maybe I am too much. Maybe I must become better, quieter, stronger, smarter, prettier, more useful, more obedient, so I can be loved. Then you grow up, but the child does not simply disappear. That child may still appear in your adult reactions. When someone does not answer, a young part may fear abandonment. When someone criticizes you, a young part may feel ashamed. When you make a mistake, a young part may expect punishment. When someone seems disappointed, a young part may panic and try to please everyone. When you are ignored, a young part may feel invisible again, and you may wonder, why am I reacting so strongly? Dear one, often it is not only the adult reacting, it is the child inside asking, am I safe now? Am I still loved? The healing is not to erase this child. Please do not try to push this part away. The inner child is not a problem to remove. The inner child is a tender part of you that has been waiting for the adult you are now to become the safe presence they needed then. Healing begins when you stop saying, why am I like this? And begin saying, oh, little one, I understand why you are afraid. Healing begins when you place a hand on your heart and say, you do not have to be scared alone anymore. I am here with you now. The first core affirmation is, this child is safe and loved. Let us feel the word safe. Safe means this child no longer has to live expecting punishment for every mistake. Safe means this child does not have to earn protection by being perfect. Safe means crying is not a crime. Having needs is not a shame. Feeling fear is not a failure. Safe means the child can breathe without waiting for someone to suddenly become angry, cold, disappointed, or gone. Safe means the adult you are now can pause, soften, and say, I will not frighten you with the same harshness that once hurt you. Loved means this child does not need to be impressive to be held in tenderness. Loved means they do not have to be always good, always quiet, always useful, always successful, always smiling. Loved means you are loved when you cry. You are loved when you are afraid. You are loved when you do not know what to do. You are loved when you make a mistake. You are loved before the achievement, before the approval, before the applause. This is deep medicine for the inner child, because so many children learned that love had conditions. Today we offer a new message. You do not have to become perfect to deserve love. You are loved because you exist. The second core affirmation is, this child is welcomed and cherished. Welcomed is a very beautiful word. It heals the feeling of being a burden. It heals the old belief. Maybe I should not need so much. Maybe I take up too much space. Maybe my feelings are inconvenient. Maybe people would be happier if I were different. To be welcomed means the child does not have to apologize for being here. Their presence is not a mistake. Their sensitivity is not a problem. Their laughter, tears, questions, dreams, and tenderness are all allowed to have a place. Cherished goes even deeper. To cherish means to treasure. It means we do not merely tolerate the child, we value them. We honor their innocence, their softness, their honesty, their imagination, their longing for love, and their unique light. The child inside you may have been compared to others, but cherished means you do not need to be anyone else. You do not need to compete for your right to exist. You are precious in your own way. Can you imagine saying that to the child within? Your presence is a gift. You do not need permission to be here. These 4 words create a foundation for healing. Safe, loved, welcomed, cherished. Safe tells the nervous system, you do not have to brace. Loved tells the heart, you do not have to earn tenderness. Welcomed tells the child, you are not a burden. Cherished tells the soul, you are precious exactly as you are. When the inner child begins to believe even a small part of this, the emotional body can soften. The old fear may not vanish in one moment, but it begins to loosen. The adult self becomes a home instead of another place of criticism. So today, speak to the little one within you as you wish someone had spoken to you long ago. Say, I see you. I believe you. I am sorry you had to feel so alone. You did not deserve harshness. You did not deserve to be ignored. You did not deserve to carry adult pain in a child's body. I am here now, and I am learning how to love you. Let the words be simple. Let them be warm. Do not worry if emotion rises. Sometimes the inner child cries when they finally hear the truth. Place a hand on your heart and imagine that little version of you sitting near you. Do not force the image. Just sense them. Maybe they are shy. Maybe they are angry. Maybe they do not trust you yet. That is all right. Trust grows through repeated kindness. Say softly, this child is safe and loved. This child is welcomed and cherished. Let the words move slowly through the body. Let the little one hear them not as a performance, but as a promise. You are not going back to change the past by force. You are going back with love to change the meaning the child carried from the past. The child may have believed, I was not enough. Today you say, you were always enough. The child may have believed, I was too much. Today you say, your feelings were valid. The child may have believed, I had to earn love. Today you say, love was your birthright. And as you continue this work, remember, the inner child does not need a perfect adult. They need a present one. They need you to return when you forget. They need your voice to become softer. They need your body to become a safer place to live. They need you to stop using the old wounds as proof that you are unworthy. Little by little, you become the loving parent, the gentle protector, the warm home that child was always seeking. So breathe now, dear one. Let the little child inside you know you are safe, you are loved, you are welcomed, you are cherished. You do not have to be afraid alone anymore. I am here. I choose you. I will learn to love you well. I want to share something personal with you. For a long time, many of us do not realize that the voice we use inside our own mind is not really our original voice. We think it is just me. We think it is normal to say, "Don't be weak. Why did you make that mistake again? You should be better by now. Stop being so sensitive. Get over it." But if we listen carefully, we may begin to notice that this voice sounds very old. It may sound like someone from childhood. It may sound like a home where feelings were inconvenient. It may sound like a classroom where mistakes were embarrassing. It may sound like a parent, a teacher, a relative, or an early world that did not know how to hold a tender child with patience. And without meaning to, we carry that voice into adulthood and call it discipline, when really it is often unhealed pain repeating itself. This is one of the first barriers to healing the inner child. Continuing to speak to yourself with the same harshness that once hurt you, the adult self becomes a copy of the old judge instead of becoming the safe parent the child needed. You may think you are helping yourself improve by being strict, but the inner child does not hear love in that tone. It hears danger. It hears, I am not safe here either. It hears, even inside my own body, I may be scolded, rejected, or shamed. And when the child inside feels unsafe, it does not heal faster. It hides. It becomes anxious, defensive, pleasing, angry, numb, or afraid to try. Dear one, you cannot shame the child into feeling safe. You cannot criticize the child into confidence. You cannot threaten the child into peace. The voice that heals is not the voice that says, "What is wrong with you?" The voice that heals says, "I see why this hurts. I understand why you are afraid. I am here now." That does not mean you never guide yourself. Of course you do. You are allowed to grow, learn, change, apologize, and become more responsible. But guidance without tenderness becomes punishment. And punishment cannot create the deep safety the inner child has been waiting for. Another barrier is denying the past. Many people say, "That was long ago. I am grown now. It was not that bad. Other people had it worse. I should be over it." These sentences may sound mature on the surface, but sometimes they are simply ways of avoiding the feeling. The inner child does not need a debate. The child does not need you to explain that the past is over. The child already knows time has moved on, but the body may still carry the emotional imprint. What the child needs is acknowledgement. Yes, that hurt. Yes, you felt alone. Yes, you were scared. Yes, you needed comfort and did not receive it. There is something deeply healing about being believed by yourself. Many wounds remain open not only because of what happened, but because no one truly named what it felt like. Maybe you were told you were too dramatic. Maybe your tears were dismissed. Maybe your fear was mocked. Maybe you were expected to be strong before you had a chance to be held. So now, when you say it did hurt, you are not living in the past. You are bringing truth to the place where truth was missing. And truth spoken with love begins to release the child from carrying pain in silence. The third barrier is forcing the child to heal quickly. This often happens when the adult self becomes impatient. You may say, "I have done the work. Why am I still triggered? Why do I still feel afraid? Why do I still care? Why am I not healed yet?" But the inner child does not respond well to deadlines. A child who has been frightened does not relax because someone says, "Hurry up and feel safe." Safety is not created by pressure. Safety is created by repeated experiences of gentleness. Again and again, you return. Again and again, you speak softly. Again and again, you keep promises. Again and again, you prove that this time, love stays. Healing the inner child is not about making the child disappear. It is about making the child feel welcomed inside your life. You are not trying to erase sensitivity, playfulness, longing, memory, or need. You are trying to bring those parts into a safer relationship with the adult you are now. The wounded child may not trust you immediately, and that is all right. If someone had been left alone for a very long time, they might not run into your arms the first time you appear. They may watch from a distance. They may test whether you really mean it. They may need to hear the same loving sentence many times before the body believes it. This is why mirror work can be so powerful. Stand in front of the mirror, not as a critic, not as someone checking what must be improved, but as someone returning to the child within. Look into your own eyes very gently. Imagine that behind those adult eyes, there is a little one still waiting to know whether you will be kind. Speak slowly, because the inner child does not need fast words. Say, "This child is safe and loved. This child is welcomed and cherished. I am here for you now." Let the words be simple enough for the child to understand and warm enough for the body to feel. If emotion rises, let it come. If the words feel difficult to believe, do not force yourself. You can soften the sentence. Say, "I am willing to love this child." That is a beautiful beginning. Willingness does not demand instant trust. It simply opens the door. If you cannot yet say, "I love you," without resistance, say, "I am willing to learn how to love you." If you cannot yet say, "You are safe," say, "I am willing to help you feel safer." If you cannot yet say, "You are cherished," say, "I am willing to see your preciousness." The softer doorway is still a doorway. Mirror work may feel strange because many people have used mirrors as places of judgment. The mirror became a place to find flaws, compare, criticize, or measure whether the body was acceptable. But now we use the mirror differently. We use it as a place of reunion. We let the eyes become kind. We let the adult self speak to the child self. We let the mirror become a little sanctuary where the old voice is interrupted by a new one. And over time, the child inside may begin to recognize your face not as another judge, but as a protector. Another deep practice is connecting with a childhood photo. Choose a picture of yourself around 3 to 5 years old if you have one. Do not choose it to analyze it harshly. Choose it to meet the child. Place it somewhere you can see it easily. Beside your bed, inside a journal, on a desk, or somewhere private and tender. Look at that little face. Look at the eyes, the hands, the expression, the innocence, the softness, the way that child had no idea how much they would one day carry. Then speak to them as you wish someone had spoken to you. You might say, "You are welcomed here. You are not a burden. I am here to protect you." Let those words land. The child in the photo did not need to be perfect to deserve love. That child did not need to be useful, successful, impressive, quiet, or convenient. That child simply needed safety, tenderness, patience, and protection. When you speak to the photo, you are not pretending to go backward in time. You are changing the emotional meaning the past still holds inside you. You are bringing present love to the place where love was missing. Some days you may look at the photo and feel warmth. Some days you may feel sadness. Some days you may feel nothing. All of it is allowed. Do not make the practice another performance. Just keep showing up. Say one sentence each day. You are not a burden. You are loved even when you cry. You are safe with me now. I am sorry you felt alone. I will learn how to protect you. The child does not need a speech every day. Sometimes One sincere sentence is enough. There is also a beautiful practice called non-dominant hand journaling. This means you use your dominant hand to write a question, and then you allow your non-dominant hand to write the answer as if the inner child is speaking. The writing may look messy. It may feel awkward. That is part of why it works for many people. It helps the adult mind loosen its control. It allows something more instinctive, more emotional, more childlike to come forward. You might write with your dominant hand, "How do you feel today?" Then switch hands and let the answer come simply. The answer may be short. "I am scared. I want to rest. I feel lonely. I want to play. I do not want to be yelled at. I miss being held." Do not correct it. Do not analyze it immediately. Do not say, "That makes no sense." Just let the child speak. The purpose is not to create perfect writing. The purpose is to give the subconscious a safe little doorway. When the child answers, respond with kindness. "Thank you for telling me. I hear you. You are not wrong for feeling this. I am here with you now." This practice can reveal things you may not have realized. Sometimes the adult self thinks the problem is productivity, but the child says, "I am afraid of being criticized." Sometimes the adult self thinks the problem is laziness, but the child says, "I am tired of trying to be perfect." Sometimes the adult self thinks the problem is anger, but the child says, "I felt invisible." When the child speaks, the healing becomes more honest. You stop trying to fix only the surface and begin listening to the emotional root. Another essential practice is thanking the inner child. This may sound simple, but it is very powerful. Thank the child for surviving. Thank the child for finding ways to keep going when they did not understand what was happening. Thank the child for still carrying a sensitive heart. Thank the child for enduring things they should not have had to carry. Thank the child for staying inside you, waiting for the day they would be welcomed home. Gratitude turns the child from a burden into a beloved part of you. Say to the child, "Thank you for surviving. Thank you for trying so hard. Thank you for keeping your heart alive. Thank you for still being here." Can you feel the tenderness in that? The child may have thought they were wrong, weak, too much, or not enough. But now you are saying, "You were brave. You were doing your best. You made it. I am proud of you." This kind of gratitude can soften shame. It helps the child stop feeling like the problem and start feeling like someone worthy of protection. Inner child healing is not living in the past. This is important. Some people fear that if they look back, they will get stuck there. But true inner child work does not trap you in yesterday. It brings the love of today to the places that did not receive enough love before. It allows the adult self to become present where the child once felt alone. When the child inside feels safer, the adult outside often becomes less reactive. You may notice that criticism does not crush you as deeply. Rejection does not make you disappear. Mistakes do not feel like danger. You can tell the truth with more steadiness because the child no longer believes every disagreement means abandonment. When the inner child feels unwelcome, the adult may spend years trying to earn belonging. But when the child begins to feel welcomed inside you, you no longer need the whole world to prove that you deserve to exist. You still enjoy love, friendship, success, and recognition, of course. But you are less desperate. You have begun to build an inner home. You have become the person who says, "You belong here with me." That is healing. That is freedom. Let us now imagine the final healing scene. Close your eyes if you can, or simply soften your gaze. Imagine yourself sitting beside the younger version of you. Do not rush toward them. Let them notice you. Perhaps they are sitting on the floor. Perhaps they are hiding. Perhaps they are angry. Perhaps they are quiet. Perhaps they are curious. You do not need to fix them. You do not need to tell them to stop crying. You do not need to ask them to explain everything. You simply sit nearby with patience. Let your body become calm in the visualization. Let your voice be low and warm. You might say, I am not here to change you. I am here to be with you. Perhaps the child looks at you. Perhaps they do not. That is okay. Stay. Let them feel that you are not leaving just because they are afraid. Let them feel that your love does not depend on their mood. Let them feel that they do not have to become easy in order to be loved. Then, when it feels right, open your arms. Do not force the child to come. Just let your arms become available. Say softly, you are safe, you are loved, you are welcomed, you are cherished. Let each word become a little blanket. Safe, loved, welcomed, cherished. These are not just words. They are the emotional foundation the child needed. They are the medicine for fear, shame, loneliness, and the belief of being unwanted. Let the child hear them again and again. If the child comes close, hold them gently. If the child stays at a distance, bless them from where they are. Healing respects timing. You can say, I will come back. I will not forget you again. That promise matters. The inner child does not need you to be perfect. They need you to return. They need your voice to become safer over time. They need your choices to show that you mean what you say. They need you to stop inviting the old harshness into your inner home. Imagine placing a warm light around the child. Not a light that forces anything, but a soft light of welcome. Let the light say, you do not have to be good to be loved. You do not have to be quiet to be safe. You do not have to be useful to be cherished. You do not have to hide your feelings to belong. Perhaps the child begins to soften. Perhaps they take one breath. Perhaps they lean into you. Perhaps nothing changes visibly, but something inside you knows a door has opened. This is the work, to become the protector the child once needed. Not a perfect protector, but a present one. A protector who notices when the old voice returns and says, no, we do not speak to the child that way anymore. A protector who notices when the child is triggered and says, we are safe now. I am here. A protector who notices people-pleasing and says, we do not need to earn love by disappearing. A protector who notices fear of rejection and says, even if someone leaves, I will not leave you. This is how the adult self becomes healing. There may still be days when the old patterns rise. You may still overreact sometimes. You may still feel small in certain moments. You may still crave approval, fear mistakes, or feel emotional when someone sounds disappointed. Do not shame yourself when this happens. It simply means the child needs reassurance. Instead of saying, why am I like this? Say, what part of me is afraid right now? This question brings compassion. It invites the child into relationship instead of exile. And each time you respond with compassion, the emotional system begins to soften. The child learns, I can feel fear and still be safe. I can make a mistake and still be loved. I can have needs and still be welcomed. I can be sensitive and still be cherished. These are not small lessons. They are life-changing lessons. They change how you love, how you work, how you speak, how you rest, how you choose, and how you allow yourself to be seen. So continue the practices. Look in the mirror and speak to the child with kindness. Keep the photo nearby and offer one loving sentence each day. Let the non-dominant hand write what the child has not been able to say. Thank the child for surviving. Thank the child for staying tender. Thank the child for waiting. And when you feel resistance, do not force it. Begin with willingness. I am willing to love this child. That sentence is enough for today if it is honest. Now let us close with the words that create the foundation. This child is safe and loved. This child is welcomed and cherished. Say them slowly. Let the body hear them. Let the younger part of you hear them. Let the words reach the places that still expect rejection. This child is safe. This child is loved. This child is welcomed. This child is cherished. And if tears come, let them wash the old loneliness. If peace comes, let it stay. If numbness comes, let it be included too. Every response is welcome here. You are not going back to become a child again. You are going back to bring the child forward into love. You are bringing the abandoned part into belonging. You are bringing the frightened part into safety. You are bringing the ashamed part into tenderness. You are bringing the hidden part into the light of your own acceptance. And as that child begins to feel safe, the adult you become is freer, softer, stronger, and more honest. If you are ready to heal the child within you, write in the comments, "This child is safe and loved." Let this be your promise. Let this be your beginning. Let this be the moment you stop using the old voice and begin becoming the safe voice. The child inside you has waited long enough. Open your arms, speak gently, return with love, and let the little one finally know you do not have to be afraid alone anymore. I am here now. You are safe. You are loved. You are welcomed. You are cherished. Think about this phrase for a moment. Responsibility to yourself. It may sound simple, but for many people it feels almost unfamiliar. We have been taught to be responsible for work, for family, for other people's feelings, for keeping the peace, for answering messages, for being useful, for being strong, for not disappointing anyone. But how often were we taught that we also have a sacred responsibility to care for the life inside our own body? How often were we told, before you rescue everyone else, please make sure you are not abandoning yourself? Dear one, helping yourself first is not selfish. It is spiritual maturity. It is the moment you stop confusing exhaustion with love. It is the moment you stop believing that your value comes only from how much you can carry, fix, give, solve, and absorb. You were not placed on this earth to become an empty cup that everyone drinks from until nothing is left. You are a living being. You have a body that needs rest, a heart that needs tenderness, a mind that needs quiet, and a soul that needs connection with life. When you try to save everyone while you are depleted, your help may begin to carry hidden pain. You may say yes, but inside you feel resentment. You may give advice, but underneath it you feel tired and unseen. You may try to be patient with others while speaking to yourself with harshness. You may hold everyone's emotions, but never allow your own emotions to be held. And after a while, love begins to feel like pressure. Care begins to feel like duty. Giving begins to feel like a slow disappearance of yourself. This is not because you are unloving. It is because you have forgotten that you are included in the circle of love. You deserve the same care you try to give to others. You deserve the same gentleness you offer when someone else is tired. You deserve the same encouragement you give when someone else feels lost. You deserve to be spoken to with warmth, fed with respect, rested without guilt, and listened to without judgment. Self-care has 3 layers. The first is the physical layer. Your body is not a machine that exists only to complete tasks. It is your home in this lifetime. It asks for sleep. It asks for food that nourishes. It asks for water. It asks for movement. It asks for rest. It sends signals long before it breaks down. A tight jaw, heavy shoulders, shallow breath, irritation, fatigue, a longing to be still. These are not weaknesses, they are messages. When you listen to the body, you are not wasting time. You are returning to the foundation that allows you to live, love, and create. The second layer is the emotional layer. You do not have to force yourself to be strong all the time. Sometimes real strength is admitting, I am hurt. I am tired. I need support. I do not have space for this today. Emotions that are ignored do not disappear. They often become tension, bitterness, or numbness. Helping yourself means allowing your feelings to be seen without letting them become your whole identity. You can feel sadness and still be safe. You can feel anger and still choose wisely. You can feel fear and still take one gentle step. The third layer is the soul layer. This is the place inside you that needs silence, meaning, faith, and connection with life. When you are always rushing to solve everyone's crisis, you may forget to ask, what is my spirit needing? Perhaps it needs prayer. Perhaps it needs stillness. Perhaps it needs a walk under the sky. Perhaps it needs to remember that your life has a purpose beyond pleasing people. The soul becomes quiet when ignored, but it never stops calling you home. So let this be a healing sentence inside you. I am willing to care for myself with love, not with guilt, not with fear, not only after everyone else is satisfied, with love. You can care for yourself before you collapse. You can rest before resentment grows. You can pause before you answer. You can eat before you are shaking. You can say no before your heart becomes bitter. This is not rejection of others. This is respect for the life that life has given you. And when life feels too big, when the pain, the debt, the work, the relationship, the dream, or the decision feels like one enormous mountain, do not stand at the bottom asking, how do I change my whole life? That question may overwhelm the mind. It may make the body freeze. It may make you feel powerless before you begin. Instead, practice microanalysis. Make the problem small enough for your nervous system to touch. Ask, what is the smallest thing I can do in 5 minutes? Not the perfect thing, not the final thing, the smallest thing. Send one message, drink one glass of water, write one line, clear one corner, open the document, take 10 breaths, Step outside for fresh air. Rest for 10 minutes without calling yourself lazy. These small steps may look insignificant to the ego, but they are powerful to the subconscious. They say, I am not helpless. I can do one thing. A completed small action breaks the spell of powerlessness. The mind begins to receive a new signal. I moved. I chose. I stayed with myself. I did not fix everything, but I did one loving thing. And one loving thing creates a little space. In that space, the next step becomes easier to see. This is how change often begins, not with a dramatic life transformation, but with one quiet decision that tells the body, we are no longer abandoned. So today, help yourself first in one simple way, not perfectly, not dramatically, just honestly. Give your body one act of care. Give your heart one moment of permission. Give your soul one breath of silence. And if the problem feels too large, make it smaller. Make it human. Make it 5 minutes. You do not need to save your whole life in one day. You only need to stop leaving yourself behind. You are worthy of the care you keep offering to others. You are allowed to become strong without becoming hard. You are allowed to be loving without becoming empty. You are allowed to be generous without disappearing. Begin with yourself, dear one. Fill the cup. Repair the cup. Hold the cup with tenderness. And from that fuller place, whatever you give will carry peace instead of pain, love instead of resentment, and presence instead of exhaustion. Well, let me ask you something with a little smile. Have you ever tried to save everyone else's life while your own laundry, sleep, emotions, and nervous system were sitting in the corner saying, "Excuse me, what about us?" Oh, dear one, we can laugh softly because it is so human. Many of us learn to become very busy, helping, fixing, explaining, rescuing, soothing, carrying, and managing everything around us. And sometimes we became so skilled at noticing everyone else's pain that we forgot to notice our own. We could sense a change in someone's tone from across the room, but we did not know how to hear the quiet cry inside our own heart. There is a voice inside many people that says, if I do not help everyone, I am selfish. If I rest, I am lazy. If I say no, they will leave. If I stop giving, I will no longer be valuable. But let us look at this voice gently. It is not the real you. It is not the wise, loving, eternal part of you. It is often an old recording. It may have been formed in childhood. It may have been formed in a home where love felt connected to usefulness. It may have been formed in relationships where you had to overgive to feel safe. It may have been formed in seasons where your needs were ignored, so you learned to survive by becoming needed. This inner enemy is not truly an enemy in the way we usually imagine one. It is an old protective voice that has become too loud. It says, do more, give more, fix more, be nicer, be quieter, be stronger. Do not disappoint anyone. Do not let anyone be upset with you. And because it speaks with urgency, we may mistake it for truth, but urgency is not always truth. Fear can sound very convincing. Guilt can sound very spiritual. Self-abandonment can even dress itself up as love. So we must learn to recognize the voice before we obey it. When the old voice says, I am not good enough, pause. Do not collapse into it. Do not fight it with hatred. Simply notice, ah, This is the old program speaking. When the voice says, I must save everyone to have value, pause again. Your value was not created by how exhausted you can become. Your worth was not assigned by how much pain you can absorb. When the voice says, if I rest, I am selfish, smile gently and remember that rest is not selfish. Rest is how a human being remains alive, clear, loving, and honest. When the voice says, if I say no, they will leave, you can ask, was that love? Or was that control dressed as attachment? The healing is not in attacking the voice. If you attack the mind becomes louder. If you shame yourself for having old thoughts, you create another layer of pain. Instead, become the loving observer. When that voice appears, say quietly, thank you for sharing. I choose a kinder thought now. This sentence is not weak. It is very powerful. It says, I hear you, old fear, but you no longer get to lead my life. It says, you may speak, but I choose how I respond. It says, I am becoming the authority in my own inner world. You do not have to believe everything your mind says. This is such a freedom. The mind may offer old fear. It may offer guilt. It may offer a frightening picture of what will happen if you choose yourself. But you can pause and say, is this loving? Is this true now? Is this guiding me toward wholeness or pulling me back into an old role? You have the right to choose again. You have the right to treat yourself differently. You have the right to stop using fear as your inner teacher. Ask yourself with tenderness, who am I trying to save so I do not have to look at my own pain? This is a brave question. Sometimes we run toward other people's problems because sitting with our own feelings feels too unfamiliar. It is easier to advise someone else than to admit, I am lonely. It is easier to fix someone else's chaos than to say, my own life needs attention. It is easier to carry another person's emotional world than to feel the emptiness inside our own. But the pain you avoid does not disappear. It waits for your kindness. Ask also, am I helping from love or from fear of being rejected? Love feels open. Fear feels tight. Love can give and still remain whole. Fear gives while secretly begging, please do not leave me. Please approve of me. Please need me. Love has dignity. Fear has desperation. Love respects both people. Fear often forgets that you are a person too. If you discover that some of your helping has come from fear, do not criticize yourself. Simply become honest. Honesty is the doorway to healing. Then ask, if I truly loved myself today, what would I stop doing? What a powerful question. Perhaps you would stop explaining yourself to someone who is committed to misunderstanding you. Perhaps you would stop answering messages immediately when your body needs quiet. Perhaps you would stop volunteering for burdens that were never yours. Perhaps you would stop speaking to yourself like a disappointed parent. Perhaps you would stop saying yes with your mouth while your whole body is whispering no. Sometimes self-love begins not with doing more, but with stopping what is draining your life. And now I want you to remember something wonderful. You are a collection of potentials that have not all been awakened yet. You do not yet know everything you can become. You may think you know yourself because you know your old patterns, your fears, your habits, your familiar reactions. But those are only the parts of you that have been practiced the longest. There are other parts waiting. a braver voice, a calmer body, a clearer yes, a stronger no, a creative gift, a quieter confidence, a deeper love, a wiser way of choosing. There are parts of you that only wake up when you stop living inside the old role. If you have always been the rescuer, there is a part of you waiting to become the creator. If you have always been the peacekeeper, there is a part of you waiting to become the truth speaker. If you have always been the one who waits for permission, there is a part of you waiting to become the chooser. If you have always been the one who hides, there is a part of you waiting to stand gently in the light. You are not as small as old experiences made you believe. Sometimes a new environment awakens a new self. Sometimes a new skill awakens a new confidence. Sometimes speaking honestly one time awakens a voice you thought you did not have. Sometimes going somewhere alone awakens independence. Sometimes finishing the thing you kept avoiding awakens self-respect. Every new experience calls forward a new part of you. You do not need to wait until you feel perfectly confident before you begin. Confidence often wakes up after you take the conscious action, not before. So take yourself into healthy new situations. Learn something that makes you feel alive. Say one honest sentence that you have been swallowing. Go to a place alone and discover that your own company can be safe. Finish one task you have avoided, not to prove your worth, but to show your mind that you are capable of moving. Try the class, write the page, make the call, take the walk, begin the project, ask the question. Give yourself the experience of being someone who acts with love on their own behalf. This is how dormant confidence wakes up, not through pressure, not through shame, not through comparing yourself to people who seem farther ahead. It wakes up when you begin giving yourself evidence. Evidence that you can choose, evidence that you can stay, evidence that you can learn, evidence that you can recover, evidence that you can be uncomfortable and still survive, evidence that you are not the old story anymore. Every conscious action sends a message inward. There is more in me than I knew. And when you begin to discover this fullness inside yourself, your way of helping others changes. You no longer help because you need to be seen as good. You no longer love in order to earn safety. You no longer listen by swallowing the whole weight of someone else's life. You no longer support people by becoming their rescuer. You help from fullness, and fullness has a very different energy. It is warm, but not desperate. It is generous, but not self-erasing. It is compassionate, but not confused. Helping from fullness means you can give without secretly waiting for applause. You can love without controlling the other person's choices. You can listen without turning their life into your responsibility. You can support without becoming the only pillar holding them up. You can say, I care about you, and also say, this part is yours to choose. This is mature love. It honors both souls. It does not steal another person's growth by doing all their inner work for them. And it does not sacrifice your well-being to prove devotion. There is a great difference between love and self-sacrifice. Love expands you, self-sacrifice slowly erases you. Love has mutual respect. Self-sacrifice often has hidden resentment. Love says, I see you, and I also see myself. Self-sacrifice says, I will disappear so you will not be uncomfortable. Love is honest. Self-sacrifice performs. Love can say yes with joy and no with peace. Self-sacrifice says yes with a heavy heart and then wonders why it feels unseen. Please understand, some sacrifices in life are natural and loving. We all make adjustments for people we care about. We all give time, energy, patience, and effort. But when sacrifice becomes your identity, when you feel guilty for having needs, when you cannot rest unless everyone else approves, when you feel resentful but continue giving, then it is time to return to yourself. Love should not require your disappearance. Love should not demand that you become empty. Love should make truth safer, not impossible. When you care for yourself first, you do not love others less. You love them from a clearer place, a calmer place, a more adult place. You stop making them responsible for your sense of worth. You stop using help as a way to secure attachment. You stop confusing being needed with being loved. And then your love becomes cleaner. It carries more peace. It carries more honesty. It carries more freedom. People can feel the difference. They no longer feel the pressure of your unspoken need to be needed. They feel your presence. Today, I want you to practice returning to yourself through 3 questions. Ask first, what does my body need today? Do not answer from habit. Listen. Maybe your body needs water. Maybe it needs movement. Maybe it needs food. Maybe it needs less noise. Maybe it needs sunlight. Maybe it needs to stop being pushed past its signals. The body speaks quietly at first. If ignored, it speaks louder. So listen early. Caring for the body is not vanity. It is respect for the home of your life. Ask next, what does my heart need today? Perhaps it needs to cry. Perhaps it needs a kind conversation. Perhaps it needs to stop pretending. Perhaps it needs beauty. Perhaps it needs forgiveness. Perhaps it needs the relief of saying, that hurt me. Perhaps it needs reassurance from you. The heart is not a machine. It does not heal by being ordered to hurry. It heals when it is witnessed, loved, and allowed to feel without shame. Then ask, what does my spirit need today? Perhaps it needs silence, perhaps prayer, perhaps a walk under the sky, perhaps music, perhaps a reminder that life is larger than this one problem. Perhaps it needs purpose. Perhaps it needs to stop consuming so much noise and return to what is sacred. Your spirit needs moments where it is not being used for productivity. It needs connection with life. It needs meaning. It needs to remember that you are more than tasks and obligations. These 3 questions are simple, but they can completely change the way you live. Body, heart, spirit. When you ask them daily, you stop treating yourself like an afterthought. You begin to include yourself in your own care. You begin to notice when you are becoming empty before emptiness becomes collapse. You begin to help yourself in the places where you used to wait for someone else to notice. Then practice mirror work. Stand before the mirror and look into your own eyes, not as a critic, but as someone returning home. Many people look in the mirror and immediately search for what is wrong. Today, do something different. Look as if you are meeting a dear friend who has been trying very hard for a long time. Say slowly, I help myself first with love. I am worthy of my own care. I can support others without abandoning myself. Let the words be tender. Let them go past the surface. Let the eyes receive them. If the words feel emotional, breathe. If they feel strange, that is all right. Strange often means new. You are learning a new relationship with yourself. You are telling the subconscious, I am not here only for others. I am here for me too. This is a radical healing for anyone who has spent years becoming acceptable by becoming useful. The mirror becomes a place where you practice seeing yourself as worthy before you perform anything for anyone. And then choose one small action of care. 5 minutes. Do not negotiate. Do not make it dramatic. Do not wait for the perfect time. Choose one thing and do it. Stretch for 5 minutes. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Drink water slowly. Put your phone down. Step outside. Clear one space. Write one honest sentence. Lie down and breathe. Wash your face with tenderness. Prepare something nourishing. Say no to one unnecessary demand. And when you finish, acknowledge it. I have just returned to myself. That acknowledgement matters. Many people do small good things for themselves and immediately dismiss them. Do not dismiss the return. Let the body hear it. I have just returned to myself. This creates a new memory, a memory of not being abandoned, a memory of being chosen, a memory of care. And small memories of care gather. They begin to form a new inner trust. You were not born to become depleted while trying to save the whole world. You were born to live fully, heal deeply, love honestly, create joyfully, and share from the fullness of your own being. You were not born to disappear into other people's needs. You were born to become a clear channel of love, and a channel must be open within itself. If it is blocked by resentment, exhaustion, guilt, and fear, love cannot flow freely. It becomes strained. But when you tend to yourself, love moves with ease. This is the closing truth. Helping yourself first does not make you less loving. It makes your love more truthful. Caring for your body, heart, and spirit does not pull you away from the world. It gives you something real to bring to the world. When you are full within, you do not need to manipulate, rescue, overgive, or disappear. You can simply love. You can simply support. You can simply be present. You can give without losing yourself. Say gently now, I help myself first. I care for my body, my heart, and my spirit. When I am full within, I can share love freely. Let those words become permission. Permission to rest. Permission to listen inward. Permission to stop rescuing from fear. Permission to love without vanishing. Permission to return to the life inside you. And as you move forward, remember this. The world does not need the exhausted version of you pretending to be endless. The world needs the honest version of you, alive, peaceful, rooted, and connected to your own heart. Begin there. Help yourself with love. Care for what is sacred in you. And from that place, whatever you share will carry the healing fragrance of a soul that has finally learned not to abandon itself. Before we close today, my dear friend, I want to gently ask you, how did this message speak to your heart? Did it make you feel comforted? Did it bring up something you needed to look at? Did it remind you that caring for yourself is not selfish, but deeply necessary? Sometimes one sentence can open a door inside us. Sometimes one idea can make us realize, I have been carrying too much. I have been giving from emptiness. I need to come back to myself. So I would love to hear from you. What part of today's message touched you the most? Was it the reminder to help yourself first? Was it the idea that you can support others without abandoning yourself? Was it the question, what does my body, my heart, and my spirit need today? Or was it simply the permission to rest, breathe, and stop trying to save everyone at the cost of your own peace. And if you have a question in your heart, please write it in the comments. Maybe you want to ask about self-love. Maybe you are struggling with guilt when you say no. Maybe you do not know how to stop rescuing people you love. Maybe you want to understand how to care for yourself without feeling selfish. Whatever your question is, I invite you to share it. Your voice matters here. Your healing matters here. This is a safe space to reflect, to learn, and to begin again with more love. Thank you for being here today. I am grateful for your presence, and I bless you with peace, clarity, courage, and the gentle strength to return to yourself.